Welcome to Meditation for Beginners. Meditation has many known benefits. It calms and relaxes the mind and nervous system. It reduces fears, anxiety, and depression. Reduces blood pressure, improves sleep, helps your mood and emotions be more balanced. It regulates heart rate, relieves muscle tension, diminishes intensity of headaches and migraines, helps balance your hormones. It even improves cognitive function and the immune system. It generates feelings of optimism, higher self-esteem, confidence, and motivation. It also enhances our sixth sense and connection to that expanded awareness or consciousness. It produces deep states of relaxation, and the list can just go on and on. The medical community is embracing meditation and other energy healing to help all of their patients reduce stress. Because we do know that stress is one of the underlying causes of all dis-ease. As we reduce our stress, we boost our immunity, our well-being, and create overall better and improved health. So now let's talk a little bit about meditation. This has been practiced since antiquity as a component of numerous religious traditions and beliefs. Meditation occurs when an individual calms the mind and body to a still or quiet point. Regular meditation practice will help the mind acknowledge its content without becoming identified with that content. You've heard, or may have heard, the saying, "We are not our thoughts." And we're not. We are thinking or feeling our thoughts, but they are not who we are. Our minds become scattered, jumping from one thing to the next. Buddhists call this the monkey mind. Our main goal for this beginning meditation practice is to try our very best to calm that monkey mind. Although thoughts often come into your mind from time to time, know that's okay, and that's normal. Accept it rather than resist it. The term meditation refers to a wide variety of practices that includes techniques designed to promote relaxation, build internal energy or life force, develop compassion, love, patience, generosity, and forgiveness. Meditation helps clear the mind and may ease many health concerns such as high blood pressure, depression, anxiety, and many more. The word meditation carries many different meanings in many different contexts. It can be referred to as the state itself, a state of being, as well as the practice or techniques that are employed to cultivate a specific state. Meditation may also involve repeating a mantra, which is a 1 or 2 word phrase. If you're familiar with transcendental meditation, that's basically what it is. You're repeating a mantra over and over again. Back in the day when all the gurus were coming out of India and people like the Beatles and Ram Dass and even Steve Jobs were traveling to India, they were studying under these gurus and they were learning transcendental meditation. And it was such a process then. You had to study under a guru, which you certainly don't now. Guru, which is spelled G-U-R-U, think about it, G-U-R-U. So there's enough places on the internet these days that you can learn to be your own guru. However, if you prefer to study under someone, that's a wonderful thing too. But the idea was, as you studied under a guru, you were given your own specific mantra that was individualized just for you. Back then, it was usually some sort of Sanskrit term. So it wasn't words you'd recognize. And the idea of that is, when you recognize a word, you focus on the word if you know the word. If it's something you don't recognize, your brain can diffuse the thoughts and just repeat the mantra. It was also known that once you were given a mantra by your guru, you were never supposed to tell anyone about it. You were to die with your mantra within you. Anyway, that's our history lesson on the mantra. So meditation has an incredibly calming effect, and it directs awareness inward until this pure awareness is achieved. There are many meditation practices and styles and many different types of activities referred to as meditation practices. You may also be familiar with the very popular mindfulness meditation practices. I personally don't see mindfulness as a meditation. I see that as a way of being. We all need to be mindful. There was a time I was a classic type A personality running around New York as a model, actress, producer, doing all kinds of stuff. And I prided myself on being that classic woman who could multitask. Well, studies and years later, we found out that multitasking really doesn't work very well, that we need to focus on whatever it is we're doing in that moment. And that's mindfulness. I am actually certified in mindfulness meditation, and I remember taking my very first class. We had to very slowly chew on a Cheerio for about 20 minutes. It was actually very painful for my type A personality mind to focus on chewing on this Cheerio. But that's the concept. So it's being mindful of the food you're eating, being mindful of a walk. There's walking meditation. There's so many different types of meditations. But ultimately, the ultimate goal of meditation is to eventually get to that quiet mind. And how we do that is through the breath. The breath is the entrance to the soul in this case. So if you think about all the organs in your body, the lungs are that one set of organs that you can control, right? So everything works by itself. Our heart beats by itself. Our lungs breathe for us by ourselves. Digestion works. Everything in our system works on its own. But the one set of organs, or the organ that we can control, would be the lungs. So we can be conscious of taking a breath in and taking a breath out. And that's what we're going to work on in this very, very first practice. For this first practice, I don't want you to worry about sitting in any specific position. As a matter of fact, I want you to lie down. Normally, I wouldn't have someone lie down because when I would teach live classes, sometimes when people would lie down, they'd fall asleep and snore and disturb everyone else. Sleeping is not necessarily meditation. Although the Dalai Lama would say sleeping is meditation just because he wants everyone to find some point of ease in their mind. But we don't really want to sleep. We want to be able to get into an aware state of relaxation. But for now, since you're beginning, and even if you're new to it, let's go back to some basics. Going back to the basics are really important. So I do want you to lie down because we want to learn diaphragmatic breathing. So belly breathing. Our diaphragm is how we breathe. When we inhale, our diaphragm expands downward, allowing the lungs to fill up. And then as we exhale, it pushes up and pushes all that air out of the lungs. The other thing it does is it takes the pressure off the vagus nerve, which is this amazing nerve that starts, it's the 10th cranial nerve. It starts in our brain, and it meanders, right? So vagus comes from being a vagabond, the word, and it just vagabonds. It just travels all over our torso, through all of our organs. So it's really important. So when we take that nice deep belly breath, we're releasing the pressure on the vagus nerve in our internal organs, and that brings relaxation to that whole area. So I want you to lie down. And I need a little bit of weight. So when I teach the class, I have sandbags, yoga sandbags actually. And we put that hip to hip across the abdomen. But you can use a book or anything with a little bit of weight to it. So you're going to just lie down flat and position that weight, whatever weight you choose, across your abdomen, generally below the ribs, on your belly. Let's check in with how you normally breathe. So keep one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest, and take in a nice deep breath. Try to feel what fills up first. Is your chest rising up first or your belly rising up first? If your chest is rising and filling first with air, that probably means that you're chest breathing. Chest breathing is very shallow breathing, and that tends to keep our nervous system in that fight or flight. We want to get into what we call rest and digest. Fight or flight puts the gas pedal on the sympathetic nervous system. We want to take the gas pedal off of that and put the brakes on that by instead switching to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. So if we're breathing shallow, we're staying in fight or flight. We're staying stressed and tense. So by breathing first at the belly, we're putting the gas pedal on the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing that to dominate. So just take a few breaths in and a few breaths out. In and out. In and out. With each breath in, take it nice and slow and focus on filling up the abdomen first. Feel that weight lift up first and then the chest. Likewise, when you exhale, feel your abdomen compressing. So you're expanding your abdomen when you inhale and contracting the abdomen on the exhale, pushing all that stale air out. Really feel it contracting so there's no breath left in your lungs. Now let's just spend a couple minutes, or if you're new, maybe it's just a minute. Let's just try a few more deep breaths. Breathing in, filling the abdomen, blowing out, allowing the abdomen and chest to fall. If you want, you can pause here and just keep breathing for a while so you really can feel that movement and practice raising that weight up and contracting with the inhale followed by the exhale, nice and slowly. And the breath is how we try not to get involved in our thoughts. Whenever we're thinking of something, then we're not focusing on the breath. So if your thoughts go to what am I going to cook for dinner while you're lying there, start to focus on bringing in that air and releasing that air. Bringing in the air and releasing the air. Bringing in the air and releasing, complete release of the air. Now, if thoughts do cross your mind, don't judge them, don't get upset with yourself. I like to use a little visualization where a bird's just flying by and it just grabs the thought and carries it away. Or maybe you see the thought as a balloon and you're holding on to the balloon. Let the balloon go and let it lift away. Or maybe it's some clouds and you see a cloudy sky and the clouds represent your thoughts. See the clouds just float away and just return back to your breath. In and out. In and out. In and out. Now, remember I talked about that mantra? We're going to jumpstart you right into a little bit of a mantra that'll help you focus on your breath. Something as simple as I was doing when I said in and out could be a very simple, easy mantra for you to use to remember to focus on your breath. In and out. I studied yoga and meditation for 7 years at the American headquarters of the Himalaya Institute. And what we were always taught there, and what always has worked very well for me, is using a mantra. It's a Sanskrit mantra from yoga, and it's called the So Hum. Very simple. One syllable in, so, and one syllable out, hum. And what that means translated is simply I am that I am. But I am that I am is a little too wordy. And for some people, they may or may not like any religious context added to it. Again, going back to what I said earlier, when your brain doesn't know what the words mean, it's actually better for your brain. So using so, hum. And you can do this quietly to yourself, which is how we were taught. We just, in your mind, so on the in-breath, hum on the out-breath. Or if you're alone, you could do this out loud. You can vocalize this. And as a sound therapist, I can tell you that's a very, very good thing to do. Sound is energy. Sound is vibration. Sound is how the universe came into being. So humming, there's a thing called the humming effect. Very, very healthy to hum. And the so hum is a little bit of a humming thing. So you can vocalize that out loud. And when you do, you'll focus more and more on the breath. So remember, coming in, you're going to exhale, push that weight up, fill the diaphragm first with the so. So, bringing in the air. Hum, expelling the air. So, I'll do one more for you, then you can do them by yourself. So, Now I've got a gong behind me, and I'm going to sound the gong 3 times. And with each sound, I want you to take that breath of so and the exhale of hum to yourself. Keep breathing. Inhale with the so. Exhale with the hum. Inhale. Exhale. On your own. So that concludes our very first lesson for meditation for beginners or for anyone else who just wants to revisit some of the basics. The breath is one of the basics. As a matter of fact, it's the foundation of meditation. Added to that, I taught you a little mantra to help you stay focused on your breath and your inner awareness rather than allowing your thoughts to meander. So thank you for joining me in this first lesson on beginning meditation. I'll see you on the next one. Namaste.